Hey, Rockstar.
Hey, love. How are you?
I'm maintaining. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I've been crazy busy today.
I understand. I promise you. You know what the misconception is, I think, with people, that when we're off, that we actually are off and we're not off. We're working.
The devil's a liar. It's been well, number one. I know you've been busy. If I'm not mistaken, weren't you on the Breakfast Club today?
Yeah, it was. Yes.
How was it?
It was great. You know what? I felt like I got a chance to really express some things that I really need to get off my chest. I think that was, and surprisingly so, one of the more serious interviews that I did. And I think, because, when you're going through things in your mind and all these feelings come up, it's stuff that's new to other people, but it's not to you. You're just expressing it for the first time.
Word.
How
was it? Was this your first go to the Breakfast Club or second?
My first.
Digitally, how was it different in your mind than some of your colleagues that have been in studio from a timing perspective?
So I would have to say that, you know what, everyone else probably had to get the comments of what was truly going on in real time.
Right.
So people were interjecting at the time when the interview was going on, which adds to the climate of the interview.
Sure.
I didn't have to do that. They went off of what they personally thought.
No, that's fair. It's literally like taking a shot in the dark, but also knowing cadence. And I would imagine that for you, that's no different than you being on stage, knowing the percussionist's cues, the trumpeter's cues, the piano player's cues. I would imagine it's a similar process in that regard.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that people don't understand is that we don't always step on stage in a good light sometimes. Sometimes we just had a bad day. And sometimes there's things that happen like right before the interview, which is what actually happened. Right before Breakfast Club, I had a couple of things happen that were a little bit difficult for me to work through my emotions. But hey, the show must go on. And so it's like, it's not just the always thing is what I'm trying to tell you, because we have our days that are not good days.
That's real. You got people in the comments saying you're beautiful. You look amazing at this point. I feel like I'm watching a proactive infomercial.
Thank you. You just made me blush. I appreciate it.
Of course. I got a question. I've been pulled in 50 different directions today. I don't know if you heard. Mike Tyson is actually coming out of retirement.
I heard.
Do you have any Mike Tyson stories?
You know what? I actually do have a Mike Tyson story, but it's a good one.
Tell me.
I actually did. Mike Tyson was given a turkey giveaway out here in Arizona, and they invited me to come out to give his giveaway, to come out and pass out to the community. So, I mean, I thought it was a beautiful thing. I was able to meet him in that light. I don't know how everybody else has met Mike. You hear all the stories and stuff. People can add their
sugar honey iced tea.
There you go. There's a bit of gravy on stuff. But I think that was a good thing.
That's a good story. Who you got your money on? You got your money on Roy Jones Jr. or Mike Tyson?
I like them both because they talk shit, and I love that. I like it because they're like, yo, what you about to do? What you about to do? You know what I'm saying? I think it's one of those things. I love that arm thing that Roy be doing with that arm. You know how he be winding it up?
Yes.
But they might be coming out with them hard punches. Wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go strength over technique, I think.
So say that again. You were cutting in and out a little bit. What'd you say?
I said I'm going to have to go strength over technique.
So you got Mike.
I'm going to say Mike. Okay. Mike is strong as hell. Now, Roy, technique is sometimes you can win the fight because you know how to move a little quicker. You know how to, you know what I'm saying?
No, not what you said. What Martin say on Martin? You got to bob and weave. You got to
Bob,
bob and use your weave.
there you go.
No, that's real. I want to hear from you. As I was preparing for today. You last year said that Lizzo borrowed from your song Juice. First question, did y'all bury the hatchet?
Can't really say.
You can't say.
I can tell you this. I like her music.
I like that answer. What do you like about Lizzo?
You know what? I like outside of the block. Outside of the box. I like that she's a sister doing her music. I like the fact that I love her. She's a big part of the community. So anything, it's never nothing personal. It's always business.
Nah, I like your answer. I like your slant. It seems like y'all preparing for a collaboration or a heavyweight fight.
Always say, why couldn't it be?
What'd you say?
I say, why couldn't it be a collab? What would be better than there actually being something going on and actually we come out of it and be like, I'm just saying, you never know.
If you guys were to pair up together, you giving me a rope, I'm gonna keep climbing until you tell me to shut up. So if you guys were to sit down and do a collaboration together, what kind of beat would you like to be on with her?
Oh, probably something that's an up tempo.
Something up tempo?
Mm-hmm. It's funny because I had a song. It wasn't actually did with and some of the words were melody line, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you a song that I had. I'd say we were gonna kind of could work. Anyway, it goes, hold on, wait, just no, I won't let you finish, cause you gotta be. And matter of fact, no one asks for your opinion. Little piece, out Eric. Yeah.
I like that. You got it. You got the formula right there.
Thank you.
I'm curious from your perspective. Oftentimes, when you look at like the person who's the vet, I won't say old, the person who's the vet versus the person who's like on the rise or the up and comer, you kind of saw it like with Cardi and Nicki. You oftentimes see people feuding. I'm curious to know, when you were coming up in the game, did you have that similar hazing from someone who was a vet? Maybe not mentioning names, but is that just a part of the process of becoming, that you got other artists who, you know, give you that other hazing?
I don't know if this is the artist necessarily, but I feel like people get real comfortable and call people I call it the OMF.
You call it the what?
OMF.
Okay.
Means the O.
Yeah.
So I feel like people get comfortable in that, and I don't let people call me. I let people call me C, because that's how I feel. I feel old, seasoned. I feel like I have wisdom now because of the experiences I've been through, and my spirit is so young that I don't. It doesn't correlate to me, that age thing for me, because the way I feel about it.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that, let me just say that, I think sometimes other people feel that in the background to create the new look for the next. They feel like, hey, you have time. Hey, you know, let somebody else do their thing. And you know what? Usually it's not even someone like an artist like, I remember people kept saying, hey, let this person live, let that person. I'm like, if I can get everything that I need, it's not a point that I don't want someone to live. I just want to maintain what I have currently created.
Sure.
I'm not just trying to shine just to shine, like, hey, look at me. It's not like that. It's more of, I need to maintain what I do too. I have an acquired living.
As I'm hearing you talk, all I hear in the background, the instrumental, is Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. You can grind like this to shine like that.
That part.
I think you brought up a good point when you talk about, you know, the person before setting the stage for the next person. I guess for me, who were some of the artists that you grew up idolizing?
Definitely used to to Patti LaBelle, definitely listen to Shaka Khan, Vandross, Billie Holiday. In fact, I used to kick my brother out the room by practice. My mom used to help me kick him out. She used to be like, Greg, get in practice now. Damn, she got to do her stuff. He used to get so amped.
Yeah, that's real.
You know?
Tell me something.
Yeah.
Is there a reality TV show in your future?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked me about that. In fact, the show today is shout out to big shout out to I Am Gray's AG today. And they're making the reality show, which I love, working on behind the scenes. And the thing I love about it, people get to finally understand the reason why. Because I know sometimes people may look and be like, why should I love about you?
Right. Right. When can people look for that?
Right now, everything is still like being put together. You know,
okay.
We're but where we're at right now in pandemic thing. But trust, no one is stopped working, even though we're in the thing. And I'm talking about, like, you know, people in the hospital. I'll shut off to let them know. Everyone that has been in the hospital has been going through a hard time. I understand. I get it. So we've still been in behind the scenes doing production. Definitely.
Somebody in the comments that said true_bless__ said, can we also get a documentary of your life from your beginning stages till now?
I'm definitely working. I think there's so many things I can say that not only help the next person, but help me to heal as well. You don't realize about the Internet Breakfast Club. I never really talked in depth how everything happened with me, with my different stuff, right? Free. And for me to actually say not to come from somebody else was kind of strange for me. I needed.
It was literally like therapy. You were able to sit on your therapist chair and talk. I
was. Because I feel like depression, mental health, different stuff, especially in the Black community, that we talk so hard on each other. We're really hard on each other. As soon as somebody says, hey, I have a problem, or I need help, they get to checking out, or they're like, hey, I can do that. Just say that, though. Just say, hey, I don't really know how to do that. Maybe help with that.
Right. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 2020, 3 o'clock, 3:16 Eastern time. Mm-hmm. Where were you at this time last year?
Damn, that's a good question. I'd have to go look. Knowing me, I was moving a lot and traveling a lot because I swear last year, I was like, I need a break. I really wanted a break, and I couldn't get a break. And then I get a break, and then it's all of this stuff. But I feel stuff. Even through that, I feel like I'm in a crazy story.
Word.
I really do.
Yeah. And that kind of leads to my next question, because I know for myself as a creative, the pandemic, for yourself as a creative, it slowed me down. And many people are complaining about it. I'm loving it. I'm not loving the circumstances, but I feel like I haven't been in one place since I was 18 years old, my senior year of high school. For you, what is something that, A, you learned about yourself, B, you've incorporated into yourself now that you've had time to sit and just, plan next steps?
I've learned that time for me, and it's okay for me to have it. I was moving around times. I would be a documentary, right? And she was talking about how and moving around, and you're in the car. I'm just in this call. Hey, I'm doing business. Hey, I gotta go. Hey, when are you going to sit down for a minute? You have to. man when I'm dealing with, and just say, hey, let me do, you know, what I do, 10 more minutes or whatever. And the second question,
I guess you answered it. It was a two-part question. I asked you, what is something that you learned about yourself, and what is something that you've incorporated into your day-to-day now that you've had to, or that you have had time to sit back and reflect?
And so the other thing I feel like I learned a lot about, and the state of how people and more. When you're moving so much as an artist, you're giving people the healing. You don't get to see all of the areas where we all need healing. You may know some things, and then you say, okay, well, how am I adding that? And I feel like I a lot through song. I like to give to the community and stuff like that, the ways that I give back. So, you know.
Tell me something, a follow-up to that. But when is the last time that you've had this much ample time in your life? I told you it was 18, my senior year of high school. What about you?
Probably around 2000, maybe 7.
Damn. Yeah.
2007. I wasn't working, but I'm really taking the time, and I'm finding I'm more of a businesswoman than I thought I was. That things I've always wanted to do, I'm doing those because I'm home by myself concentrating. I can do great with the petties. I have a cartoon with petties with Overdone. So we were doing gonna keep on walking. Luck did one too on her show, and Overtime said, and I was like, hey, and I said, let me check the graphics of what else you have. He showed me he had another called The Clouds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Showed me some other stuff, and I do my cartoon petties.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, the petties can talk shit, or can't talk shit sometimes, or people do scenarios and say, hey, can you talk about this? I'm like, yeah.
That's real. Let me ask you something. People, when I posted on IG yesterday that I was going to be sitting down with you, talking to you. By the way, what does your cup say? That had my attention for a second, but you.
I said, I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come.
That's real. So that ain't about me. But when I told people that I was having you on, and even in the comments on IG, people kept saying, "Keep on walking." Like, I guess this is a trick question, but it's a real question. If "Keep on Walking" was not your signature song would be what?
My signature song, but you know what I love. I never knew there was love like this before. Hey, that's one of my cups. I like that song.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, High Five Kids. I love that song too. But I think hard for me. I've always had a song. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It will probably take something outside the box for me. I love Phyllis Hyman's music.
Right.
So, you know, stuff like that, which I did recently, some stuff from her. You know, I don't know. It's hard. It's not fun.
What is your? I had Nivea on IG Live last week. We talked. And I asked her what her go-to was in the shower. I got the same question for you. Two-part question. What's your go-to song in the shower? And what's the go-to song for you when you're in the car with the radio off?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I have, and look, don't y'all start. So, On Top by Tracy.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I like His Eyes on the Sky while I'm in the shower. That's how. That's why I said don't start. Yeah.
So look. So are we doing Eyes on the Sparrow like Sister Act 2 Eyes on the Sparrow? Is that in your key range?
Yeah.
Can I hear?
Okay. Right. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely, lonely, and long for heaven and home?
Sing, child. Did your foundations, like many singers, come from the church?
Absolutely. I started when I was at missionary Reverend Barnwell, and I always wanted to sing. I started singing when I was 11, actually, and that was my first performance. I didn't even know I could sing. And I started, you could sing? I was like, yeah, I want to do more of this. So I joined the church and I started doing it. And that's where things from there. And I just think at that point.
Pre-corona, would you have rather sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl or at Game 1 of the NBA Finals?
NBA Finals or Super Bowl. How about both? I'm bratty. Why do I have to pick? I'm the circle in the square. I'm always doing something.
Which would you want to do first, Super Bowl or NBA Finals?
Oh man, I would say probably Super Bowl. Probably Super Bowl. So like that's such a big. They're both big opportunities. I can't really.
Mm-hmm.
The final of I mean, everybody to each one. I would say that's a hard.
True Bless said yes, she should sing for COVID Super Bowl anthem.
COVID Super Bowl anthem. But you know the world is ready for people to get back to normal. I don't think that's happening anytime.
I think 2020 is canceled.
That's what I.
Tell me something. Whitney Houston, many people marvel at her rendition of the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Do you think anybody will ever come close to replicating that, and if so, who?
No. I've always said is the queen. I have never heard Super Bowl. When I did that was emotional. It gave me chills. You know what? It's not just one of the songs that just do that. It's that higher register or anything, but she just sang in a way I just don't feel like even if it wasn't the national anthem, just can't just be. It was only one her, and
that's real. Did you have much interactions with her while you guys were on the rise?
I met her at the Awards one year. He was so trained, and that's when they were performing a New Edition, and they were performing. Like, come on now, bro. And I was like, oh, she is so cute. I said to myself, I was like, wow, she's so cute. And then her voice, so it was just like icon. As an artist, I have people that I love as well. So as people my music, I love it.
Who you hinted at Lizzo. Who in today's genre of music, in basketball, often people say starting five. For you as a musician, who would be your starting five of current artists that you'd like to work with?
Definitely.
So Drake?
Yeah, definitely Drake. And it's so great melody line. Like he can dance, like sing. Something about what he does musically that people love. Jeannie Aiko. I love great song, writes real, but yet still, you know what I'm saying? Still so relatable, so
right.
Public. 5 people.
So we got 2, Drake, Jeannie Aiko.
Someone who I wanted to work with, I just worked with Jackie's Boy, Grammy Award winning Jackie's Boy. He just worked with Sean Stockman. In fact, I have another studio session tonight. I just worked with him, so Jackie's Boy. So Jackie's Boy, giving you love. Let's see, 5 people. Wow. That's a hard one. Ready for you, bro. Who do you think would be a good match? How about that? Who do you think would be a good match with me?
Well, you talked about, I guess he's still current. You talked about singing Trey songs in the shower. I'd like to see that. I don't know if I know he's no longer with us, but I'm sure he recorded music for days posthumously. I would love to have seen you do something with Pop Smoke.
I know. That would have been. I think sometimes you get the different kind of interactions that people don't expect. I think those are the things they go, huh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. I think when you continue to give people the unexpected, that's what they love.
I mean, look, Nelly did that with Tim McGraw. He did
right.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did a jazz song. I mean, like a Philip Hyman jazz song, Bob Baldwin and Marion Meadows is coming out. So, I mean, that's something different. I do different types of music and different genres of music because I don't like people what I should do. I just do what I like to do. And also in the world of TV licensing and commercials and stuff like that, you should just have different things in your resume.
Facts. For people, listen, if people work at Chili's, maybe they should work at Chipotle, Fridays, McDonald's. Diversify. If you play quarterback, you should play some running back, some defensive line. You should mix it up.
You know what? It's funny. Work with Baby. I don't think we are in the same love to Baby, but I think we're in the same genre.
The Baby?
Yeah, the Baby. I said much love to him, and someone's like, "Would you see that would happen?" People just throw out stuff to me. Much love, but that there's a matter, but you never.
Tell me something. Someone was in the comments a little earlier. They wanted to know what you did to keep your skin looking so smooth and just looking so vibrant. What's the secret? What's in your Wheaties?
Thank you so much. First of all, I'm definitely in skincare, and I drink water supplements. Like, make sure definitely you get a lot of vitamin D. It's so good for you. A lot of just try to keep your stress level down. Not that I haven't a lot, but the main thing, skincare. Every night I don't sleep in makeup, and I drink a lot. Working on my skincare, which will be out. A CBD line that I've been working on. So all things are coming. You know, so
that's real. That's real. 2020 is a little bit halfway over. It's what, like 5 months left. Any new music coming your way?
Oh, absolutely. The Jackie's. I think people really like that. I like the track that he sent. It's fresh, it's new. So it's what's going on in the world right now. New song. So, and then I'm also working on with my boy Byron, Art Bernard Music, different people, Ron Garrett. So that'll be out soon. Are you doing a gospel project? Can I not do a gospel project?
Listen,
Snoop can do a gospel project. Do one.
Kanye West did a gospel project.
Right, and people loved it. I think people need to do everything as we have to be a certain genre, and artists just to do what they want to do. Now the issue comes: do they sound good doing it? Does it sound like somebody's reaching? Right? I think that's the main thing. If somebody's reaching, but I have a story to tell. You know, if that's what it does to help somebody, that's what you do.
Biggie Smalls made a song called "I Got a Story to Tell." I'm curious to know from your perspective. You talked about gospel music. I remember sitting down with the two young ladies, Mary, and asked them who their gospel Mount Rushmore was. I turned the camera back to you. Who is in your Mount Rushmore of gospel artists?
Oh my God, I love Aaron Clark. I love Jay Moss, one of my favorites. Andrea Johnson, and Tamala Mann.
I like it.
You like it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is a you today?
Well, people say that Raven supports me kind of like them, so maybe that might be similar just because like. But as far as me right now,
Mm-hmm.
that's another hard perception because I see me every day. I don't see everything that other people see, and I don't know who all the comparisons are.
Do you think comparisons are overdone though?
I believe so because there's only one of you, and there's only one of the art. I talked about this actually on the Breakfast Host. We had talked about, and I feel like people try to erase the original artist. And I'm like, if God gave you this and gave you that and gave you creativity, why does there have to be something that's just like somebody else? Why don't you listen to it, get some kind of inspiration from, but doing the exact same thing? Why would you want to do that? Why would you just want to take somebody else's work that they've worked hard for? Create.
How would Alicia Keys fare in your era?
Oh, Alicia, dope. Alicia plays the piano, sings, and performs. That's a triple threat. And right, Alicia has always been dope. When I heard part of her story as far as being on the label, she wasn't getting her just due right. I'm like, who was sitting in that chair that needed to be fired immediately because they didn't know what she could do? Because she really is a dope artist.
When I hear you say she sings, she plays the piano at the same time, it makes me think of that scene in Next Friday when Mike Epps goes, "Baby D, the cops don't know when to bust the door in. She do hair, babysit, and sell weed at the same time."
Hey, you got it going on. And you know, there's not a lot of artists that have those things now. And you definitely aren't seeing a whole lot of groups, which is so crazy now. And like the 90s, 2000s, they had groups. Now you don't see that. It's so weird to me sometimes.
Somebody in True Bless is getting all the shine, giving all the insight. True Bless said, "I think Aaliyah and Cece would make a fire song."
Oh, that's been dope. Because you know what? I have those like lighter, heard I inside that I cried.
Mm-hmm.
I have those type of like light. So, you know.
Where would you fare in today's era?
I think I'm still fair era because I feel like I haven't left.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm going to hear because people are like, what about the artists that well there's hot now and hot, and I said finally I'm not saying that as far as an arrogant thing or an ego type of comment. I'm saying that there are, God allowed me to have one song as a classic, and it's not going anywhere, but people don't know. Another reason that is that song has paid my bills from the 90s.
Lord.
That's why people don't understand. They always try to dim people's light, like artists or artists that came, and they're like, well, you came out a while ago. You're like, yeah, but I'm still living off of what I came out.
That's real.
Yeah.
When you got your Jim Jones, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago on live, and I asked him what he spent, or his first big check, or really his check off of Ballin', what he spent, like how he spent his money, like, you know, to celebrate. And he said he bought his mother a house. Do you remember your first big check off your first hit and what you did to celebrate?
Do you know I still got the contract, check, and a copy of the check?
Word?
Word. I still got it. I just can't show you because it has all the contractual stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I keep all my stuff. I'm one of the people that have all my paperwork from 30 years ago. I'm just telling you, I keep all my paperwork. You're going to laugh at this, but I actually didn't buy a lot right away because I was like, I don't know how long this is going to last. I don't want to buy anything. So I was in an apartment and a Pathfinder because I was like, but it had a dope ass system though, just just FYI.
Don't
But
sell us short.
I had apartment and a Pathfinder, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait a minute before I actually get my house. And I waited about a year, and I said, I think you're gonna be here for a minute. So after that year, me not knowing, because I was so naive and innocent at the time. So then I got me a house.
So for the rising artists who may be listening or watching, do you buy the crib or do you buy the car first?
You always buy the crib. You always buy the crib. Y'all quit buying cars and throwing rims around the damn car and not having your other stuff in order, because having ownership of a home is so many different things. That's your office. That's your, like, it could be a studio. It could be your home. It's your temple. It's so many different things. It's where you lay your head. Y'all, the house.
That's real.
It is.
A couple more questions. Best piece of advice that you received while you were on the cusp, not there, but like on the cusp of being who everybody knows in these here comments right here?
Always stay authentically you. By any means necessary, let people know exactly who you are and be willing to understand the consequences of speaking up and say, hey, that doesn't work for me, or I don't like that. Sometimes I've gotten in trouble because I say my opinion, or sometimes, you know what I mean? And this is so weird. People feel like they can come to me and talk to me any type of way. And I'm sitting there like, let me take a breather here for a second before I get turned up.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that. And you know what? It's been more during this time than any time. Like really impeding upon your space. So by always be you, be your creative self. Sometimes it may not work out exactly as you like, but guess what? That should be the learning lesson to you to make it greater for next time.
That's real. You preaching your trial sermon today, Pastor.
Look, I'm trying to.
You Kanye West has been in the news, and not specifically about him, but I have a question about mental health.
Right.
Do you find that in the industry, that is something, mental health, whether it's depression, whether it's just heartache, do you think that celebrities often get passes because people see them as the entertainer and not who they actually are?
I don't think we get as many passes. I just think that people just don't know that we're going. I think we get passes because they don't know. And I think that we shout out in different ways. A lot of entertainers shout out through smoking and drinking and just different stuff that they have going on. Or they may shout out by acting out or whatever the case may be, right? Or they just may have action or speak in a way that people don't really understand. Like, they don't know that you're going through depression. I was saying how many times I would have been going through depression and nobody just even knew. I learned how to cover. And that's not good. I was afraid to say, hey, I'm not having a good day. I need some help. I need someone to talk to. And I don't know. I guess I just didn't seem like a punk, like you acting like a punk right now. I had a problem being vulnerable, and I should, because I'm a woman and it's okay to be vulnerable and tell people how you feel. But I really had a problem being that way. Really. I've learned that now more than I would say at any time in my life. And because social media isn't very nice all the time. You try you try to come on and say your truth, and you got some jackass in the comments. You're like, yo, I said this to help somebody. Here you come with the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But people will come.
One of my favorite words.
Hey, it's a period on the end of a sentence sometime. People will come with dumb stuff sometime, and I feel like, now I don't want to say it. The person may feel like, now I don't want to say it because I'm going to be judged. That's why you have to say things when you're ready, so that when people say stupid stuff, it will just roll off of you. It's different when you don't know that person, but when you know them and they come at you with dumb stuff, you be like, are you coming with me with stupid stuff? What happened? Like, look, like Eddie, my character. What happened?
I think you used to play the dozens from way back.
I believe I did. I learned to. It was a learned behavior. One thing that people don't know about me, and I'll share this, and I anxiety at where I may look inside of my chest going like this sometimes, and people don't know it. And I had to learn how to fight because, hey, you got to go on in 10 minutes. You cannot afford to like have anxiety right now. It feels like your breathing is labored, and it feels labored. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. I'm like, you got to go out in front of a whole crowd right now. You better get it together. But I had to learn to mask it.
I got one more question. I've never asked the artist this, and I'm curious.
Okay, ask me.
Do you and other artists that you know make love to your music?
I love it. I actually make love to other artists' music when I make love.
Okay.
But I can't say that mine hasn't slipped in there once or twice.
Okay.
And I'm sitting up there laughing like, how'd this get in here? I said, oh, well, hey, making the music and making the music, you know?
Question asked. I'm adding that to the repertoire when I talk to artists now. Like, yeah, I be want to know, like, does DMX make love to his music? What?
And look, I want to know who made music, who made love to my music. How many of y'all made a baby to my music?
Word.
You know?
Yeah. Well, you answered all my daggone questions. I appreciate your time, man.
Ma'am, thank you for having me on, sir. I appreciate you. And thanks for having me on the show. Shout out, like I said, to Lady Luck, and you know, to everybody on my team. I'm gonna put all y'all in the comments. Can I just give my team a shout out because
Handle your business.
Factory Unified Noise. I want to give y'all a shout out. Team Peniston, G Finesse, Lucy Ann, Stephanie, Steve Ray's AG Agency, yourself, Eileen Shapiro, everybody. Mayor Paul Harris, Laura's been the work because sometimes you don't get to thank everybody all the time. And I just want to say thank you. And Golden Day, because she is always, that's my girl, she is always reposting all of my stuff. June. So just everybody who's been on my team, I appreciate you, for real.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Makes the dream work. Oh, yes.
You heard it first. Ma'am, I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.